Hello, everyone. I know it's been a while since you've heard from me or seen me share personal stuff on social media. I'm 29 years old. My birthday was a couple of weeks ago, so this is my last year of my roaring 20s. I got a promotion. I'm working from home. I'm the new field marketing specialist for the Santa Cruz and Carmel agents, which is a little bit over 300 agents. I am the marketing consultant for them and their business. So I have that going for me. I had a wedding that I attended. Congratulations, Hazel and Juli. Went to a quinceañera. I went camping in Cherry Lake. We tested out our rooftop tent. But I've also been having a lot of challenges myself. I've been still having my physical challenges with my stomach and the funs of being allergic to a lot of stuff. And you also know that I've been struggling with my mental health and anxiety and depression and PTSD and things like that. And so I've been on medication and treatments and seeing specialists and talking to my therapist on a weekly basis. But I always felt like it wasn't quite right. Like I wasn't done with my experience with my medical journey, and I just felt not okay. So I started doing more internal digging and found out I do have dyslexia, and I also have some level of ADHD. So I started my medication on that, got really focused in work, and it was a life changer. A lot of good emotions. I felt energized. A lot of creativity started pumping in. I did get a promotion during that time, so I guess it worked out for the best. But those were during the 40 hours that I was at work. And then the time that I wasn't at work is when the unmasking came in, where the depression was heavier than ever, and those intrusive, dangerous thoughts were just staggering. They were overwhelming. They had no reason to be there, but they were there. I was in a very dark, negative cloud hole where the agony was taking over me. But I had to keep a face for my family members, for my coworkers, for work, for everyone outside of my home. But I was in agony. I was depressed. I was really low, and it was scary that all of a sudden I was just having a really high that a low came in. And since I had been working carefully and closely with my therapist and my medical doctors and everything, it was time to start seeing different avenues and other reasons. And so I started maybe going to psychiatrist and getting that side, but I needed a referral. And that's another journey that is really difficult, is when you're having some mental health issues, you don't want to do anything. You don't have energy to fight for yourself. You don't have energy to wake up and during the day, live your day, go to sleep. You don't have energy. So the fact that I had to go to my doctor, get a referral, call the referring doctor, finding out my insurance doesn't take it. Okay, I really need to see this psychiatrist. How much is it gonna be? Oh, it's $700 out of pocket. Initial visit, 1 day, 1 hour, $700. That's not including your recurring visits, which would be what, $300, $400 out of pocket. And that was just mind-blowing that one of the main facilities in our area is charging $700 out of pocket to see a patient that is having psychiatric issues, psychiatric problems. I am very fortunate that I'm not to the point that other people are. I'm very blessed, but I have family members that are not. Mental health issues are genetics. They run in through our genes in our blood. So it's something literally we cannot control. I mean, it's not something we get better or overcome or just disappears. It's something that it's a lifelong challenge that we didn't choose to have. So after going to the doctor, finding out that it was going to be $700, I'm like, okay, well, maybe let's find something in network. Well, that was another hassle to find a doctor, a psychiatric practitioner in-house, in network, in our area. The ones that I did call in our location, we're not taking new patients, we're full, or promised to give me a call back, and I never got a call back. And so I'm already on week 2 of knowing that I might have something else. Month 2 of my deepest, heaviest depression that had no reason to be. I've been depressed before and I've had pretty valid reasons. This time around, I had no logical reason to be wanting to drive myself off a cliff or just to not wake up one day or not be here, wanting to disappear. But I had to fight. If I'm capable enough to keep it together, I know there are hundreds of other people in the Monterey County that are having these issues that cannot fight for themselves, that are so overtaken by their disease, by their sickness, by their mental health illness, that they cannot provide for themselves. They cannot defend themselves. And I'm seeing left and right overdoses, suicides, car accidents, drunk driving, and it's a mental health issue. It's the fact that we do not value our kids' needs when they're saying they're not okay, or that we judge someone that is using drugs because they're hearing voices. They don't have the support. They feel crazy, and if I do drugs, well, maybe that'll justify what I'm seeing is really, it's based off the drugs, or what I'm hearing is based off the drugs, or so that's why I feel like it's my duty, because I am not at that point. I don't want to get to that point, but it could happen. If I don't, I'm 29 years old and I'm barely finding out that I might be bipolar. I'm 29 years old and I'm barely finding out that I do have ADHD. I'm 29 years old and I'm barely finding out that I'm dyslexic. I'm 29 years old and I've gone to psychiatrists, I've gone to therapists, I've had nurse practitioners get fired because they said they didn't have enough time to view my chart, and so my time was up because they didn't have enough time. I work 40 hours a week. I pay for my insurance. I have used all of my resources in the lowest parts of my mental state just because I knew that I probably didn't have someone to do that for me. I had to fight for myself. And that's not okay. Because there's people suffering from mental health issues that are getting killed by cops. There's people with mental health issues that get pushed out from their families because they're not understood. There's people with mental health illnesses that are living off the streets because that's the only way that they're able to cope with their visions, their hearings, their paranoia, and that's not okay. And I'm gonna do the best that I can to voice my opinions, my disagreements, my disgusts, but also my journey, my fights, my voice, my suggestions. I'm here for that. I mean, it's a lonely road, and I don't want you to be lonely. If I know how it feels. I know how it is. Coming every day, having to put that smile on, being that helpful person, being cheerful, being that person that everyone wants to be around with because you just bring that joy when deep down inside you're fighting your demons. And sometimes they're winning. But that's the thing. You only win some battles, but you're winning the war. I'm winning the war. And, well, I guess my ramble has been going on for a while, and as you could tell, very passionate about this. Mental health, it's something that we really need to be focused on as a society. And it's not okay for certain people to be excused for their mental health and there others to be killed because of their mental health. Just how we've had school shooters saying, oh, they had mental health problems. Poor them. They had a hard childhood. But last year we had people, young black men, walking down the streets, enjoying their music, dancing, leaving everyone alone because the world that he was in, his head was better than the world he was living outside. But because someone else didn't understand him, didn't understand what he was going through, they called the cops. And he got killed. Today, he got some justice, Elijah. But justice will only matter when this doesn't happen again. One case isn't enough. We have to make a difference in our whole country, in our whole nation, the whole world. And I'm not going to stay quiet anymore. And so, if you're ready for this fight, keep following me. And if you're not, then I've let more important people go in my life than your follow. I guess that's the end of my ramble.